time. A commodity that we never seem to have enough of, especially when we're having fun, and unfortunately it's something we can never get back. And if we're talking about Amazon, product research can seem to go on forever. Am I right? Well, in this video, I'll show you 4 easy steps that I learned through my own experience that'll cut down on the time and will help you do product research significantly faster. But first, my name is Crescent. On this channel, I share tips and strategy videos, just like this one, and how you can create a successful Amazon FBA private label business. So if you enjoy videos like this, consider subscribing. All right, let's get started. All right, the first tip I have to help you speed up product research has to do with planning. Now, it's extremely important that anytime you have a goal and trying to accomplish something, that you come up with a plan ahead of time. That way you have something in your mind that you can target to reach your goal. So in this case, we're looking for specific products that meet certain criteria for product research. So that's why it's important to come up with a plan to figure out what those specific targets and criteria are. So specifically, you need to figure out how much profit you want to make per month, and then break that down into how many units you need to sell per month and how much profit you need to make per unit. That way you have exact numbers to look for while you're analyzing niches. Now, if you don't do this ahead of time and you start doing product research to analyze the data of each niche, you're aimlessly looking around without any specific goals in mind, so you're wasting time, okay? So once you figure this out, just an example, most people are looking to make around $3,000 profit per month. Then $3,000 would be your profit target goal each month. And so you need to break that down into 30 days, which would then be $100 per day. And that typically then breaks down to $10 profit per unit, okay? Or 300 units per month. So have those numbers, write them down in front of you with a pen and paper so you know when you're analyzing niches, these are the specific numbers I'm looking for, okay? It's a roadmap to success. Otherwise, you're just aimlessly looking for things without any real specific goals. All right, and actually I have a video that goes specifically into how to do proper planning, and I'll post it here and in the video description below. All right, and that leads us now into the actual product discovery phase of product research. So when you're doing product discovery, you're looking for products that meet specific criteria, and part of that is exactly what we went over. And understanding what these criteria are will help you do product discovery a lot quicker. And most people, when you're starting out, are using a product database like this one in AMZScout. So if you look here on the right, you can see here there's the properties section, which is the filters we're going to set to look for specific products that meet these criteria. And so specifically, we're going to look at the price, the estimated sales per month, the number of reviews, and the weight. And these are just starting points, okay? So where do these numbers come from? Well, the price, we're looking at a minimum of $15 to a maximum of around $50, so that the price point is high enough that there's enough profit for you to make, but the price isn't too high that it's no longer an impulse buy. Okay, so that's where the $15 and $50 comes from. I have it set to 15 to 25 here. And estimated sales, I have 300 here, because like I said earlier, if you're looking to make $10 profit per unit and you're trying to make $3,000 profit per month, then you need to sell at least 300 units per month, right? So that's where the 300 comes from. And then we want to make sure that the niche isn't too competitive. So we want to make sure that the reviews aren't too high. And in this case, we want to make sure they're less than 75 reviews. And we want to also make sure the products are in the standard size tier. And so we want to set it to a maximum of 2 pounds. Okay. And these are categories here that I find have the most success in finding viable products. I'm not going to go into detail about exactly why, but these are the ones that I have most success in because there's less competition, there's less returns, and there's no chance of being sued or anything to do with liability, okay, like food items or creams and lotions and stuff. Okay, so make sure you understand why you're setting these filters and what they do, and that'll help you do product research quicker. Now, once you start with these default settings and we click on the apply filter, this is going to pull up a list of products. And so one way to help speed up the process is to narrow down the entire list of results that show up when you apply a filter. So when you look up here, you'll notice that I have some negative keywords here in the search field. That means any listings that have these specific keywords in them are not going to show up in the search results. So these are products that I do not want to sell. I'll actually put this list of keywords in the video description so you can copy and paste them for your own use. Okay, so once you've done that, that's going to help narrow down the field. So instead of looking at 20,000 products, it's going to narrow it down to a smaller subset. And that's also going to help if you change the filters. So instead of looking at $15 to $50, you look at a smaller subset. So 15 to 25 or even smaller, like 15 to 20, and break that up. So you can go through that list of products in the search a lot quicker, okay? Now a pro tip here is most beginners are just gonna go through the search results in their numerical order, okay? But what I would like to do, and the key to success, is to do what other people aren't doing so that you're looking at products that most people aren't finding. So what I'll do, instead of going through the list in numerical order here in the search results, is I'll choose one of these categories here and search it by that instead. So for example, I'll click on the product information and go through the list in reverse order. Or I'll click on the estimated sales and look through the products in this order. All right, there's no right or wrong way to do product discovery. Just mix it up so that you're not doing it like everybody else. Now, another pro tip too is it can be daunting going through a whole list of these products, right? So again, to further narrow the field down, if we change this, instead of doing what everybody else is doing, instead of just looking at the price points on a whole number value, look at a fractional value too. So for example, everybody's gonna put in exactly $15. So what I'll do is I'll look right at the borderline. So borderline products that nobody else is gonna look at, right? So if I'm looking from $15 to $25, I might do $14.26. I'll make up that cent side of it through $15.14 or something. Then I'm looking just at a small subset. Then I'm only pulling up a few hundred or a few thousand products instead of 20, 30,000 products, right? Looking right in that narrow band. And then again, most people are gonna look at the upper range of 20 or 25 or 30. So instead of right at 25, I'll put 24.76 through 25.32 or something. Again, make up that cents side of it, okay? And you're looking just at the borderline, okay? And then same with estimated sales. There can be some gray area there. So since you understand why you're looking for 300 minimum, it's tied to your profit target goals, you can fudge that a little bit. So look at 250 and up, okay? Just an example. And then to narrow down the field again, to speed up the product research, you can try being a little more tight on your criteria. So instead of 75 reviews, lower it down to 50, okay? Or you can add a revenue value in there. So a pro tip is generally about a third of your monthly revenue is your profit. So if you're looking to make $3,000 profit per month, you can add a minimum value there of say $8,000 so that you know that if the product is making at least $8,000 revenue a month, there's around $3,000 of that is profit, okay? And I found that the sweet spot is anywhere between $8,000 and $25,000. You don't want to look at products that are making several $100,000 a month because everybody's trying to find that home run product, and so everybody's looking there, okay? So you want to find a narrow band, and this will lower the amount of search results that you have to wade through while you're doing product research, okay? Now, if we go back to the list of products in the product database, the key here is to reduce the amount of time that you're spending doing product research. So every few seconds that you can save adds up in the long run. So what I do is when I'm looking through this list to find products that catch my eye, instead of finding one and then analyzing that one and then coming back looking at another one, I'll queue up 3, 4, 5, or 6 of them at a time. So for example, if I find that this long spout catches my eye, I'm not gonna analyze it right away. I'm gonna right click on it, open it in a new tab, and then go on to a next one until I find something else. For example, just randomly picking something here like these, this Enzo ring, don't know what that is, okay. And then I'll queue up some more, like this ultrasonic pest repellent. Okay, so once I've queued up a few, then I can go into data analysis mode instead of product discovery mode, and this will help me do product research quicker, okay? So I'm breaking it up into segments. So before moving on to the next tip, I want to let you know that I finally completed my Amazon FBA course. It's something that I'm very proud of, and I put a lot of time and effort into. And if you've been following my channel and find value in the free content I provide, and especially if you enjoy my teaching style, you'll find the same level of detail, quality, and even more in-depth content in the course. It's on sale right now during the launch for over 50% off, and the sale ends in a couple days, so if you want to get in on a great deal on what I believe is the best, in-depth, well-organized, step-by-step, easy-to-follow course on Amazon, now's your chance. All right, moving on. So the next step of doing product research is doing data analysis. And in order to do data analysis, you need to have a Chrome extension that pulls up data for an entire niche. And in this case, I'm using the AMZScout Chrome extension. So if we pull up this can opener niche as an example, I can open up the Chrome extension from AMZScout, and it's going to pull up all of the listings that showed up in the can opener niche and give me all of the data for each of those listings, okay? And again, going back to step one, which was planning, if you figured out all of your profit targets as far as how much profit you're looking for, how many units you need to sell, that's going to help you do data analysis just that much quicker, because now I can just look down the estimated sales column and make sure that most of the listings here are hitting my target. And then the number of reviews, again, you want at least 7 out of the top 10 to have less than 75 reviews. So I can just look down this column. And then if I'm looking to make at least $10 profit per unit, then I know that the price point is going to need to be at least $15 or $20 and higher. Okay, so make sure you know what those targets are, so when you analyze a niche like this, you can at a glance, within seconds, know if this is a good or bad niche. Now, as far as analyzing these listings, there's a few other things that'll help you speed it up. And the first one is to remove the sponsored listings. It's very important that you don't include the sponsored listings when you're analyzing niches, because those listings are placed there based on bids in the PPC campaigns. They're not placed there organically. So if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, the sponsored ads are these ones here that say sponsored, and right here, sponsored at the top, and there's some more at the bottom. So if you scroll down, there's some more down here, okay? When you pull up the Chrome extension, normally it's going to pull it up in this list as well. But if you come down here to filter, you can hide sponsored. Check that option. And if you click on apply, it's going to hide them, okay? And you'll notice that it's hiding because it's showing that this listing here is actually the fourth one, because the first 3 are sponsored. Okay, that'll help you do product research quicker. And another way to do product research quicker is to have the right tools. And one of my metrics for analyzing niches is to make sure that it's not saturated. And to tell if a niche is saturated is to look at the age of those listings. Now, if you don't have a product research tool, what I recommend doing is you can install a Chrome extension called Keepa. And when you open up a listing, for example, this one here from Xylus, once you scroll down past this main photo, the Keepa plugin opens up in its own window here, and it's going to show you the age of the listing. For example, this one is 2005 days old. So what you want to do is, if you don't have a Chrome extension tool, what I recommend is opening up the top 10 or top 15 listings one by one and taking a note of this date. And you want to make sure that the majority of those 10 to 15 listings are not newer than 90 days old. Otherwise, this niche is saturated. Okay, so as you can tell, opening up 10 or 15 of them every time you analyze a new niche can take some time. Okay, so in order to cut down that time, AMZScout is very powerful because it actually lists the listing date in this Chrome extension. You can see here there's an available from field right here, so I can look right down this field and at a glance see how new these listings are. Okay, so the time of this recording is in November, the end of November of 2019. And you can see here that there's one from August, and one here in November, one here in September, and a couple in October. Okay, so you can see there's a few new ones here. So right away, without having to open up 10 or 15 listings, I can look here at a glance. All right. There's also the saturation score, which is helpful to see at a glance how saturated this niche is, and it's a score out of 10. So the higher this score, the more potentially saturated it is. Okay, so we can see here it says 73 sellers have found this niche in the last month. Okay, so having the right tool will help you do product research quicker. Now, if a niche passes its initial criteria and you want to do a little more in-depth research, for example, making sure that the profit margin is attainable, then the AMZScout actually has a built-in profit calculator. As you can see here, if you open up this listing by clicking the arrow, there's a profit calculator already built in. So you can see that this one's selling at $11.65 and the fee is $5.06. But if I click on the profit calculator, it's built in. So right here, I can change some numbers around. So I can see the more important metrics here is the size and weight, because that's how the Amazon fees are going to be based off of. And so you can see at $11.65 that the FBA fees are $5.06 and my profit per unit is $6.59. Okay. And my estimated monthly profit is this. All right. Now, if I know what my product cost is, I can enter it here. So let's just say it costs me $3 per can opener. Then I can get my net profit per unit, which is actually $3.59. All right, and I can always adjust the price here. So if I add some value, like I bundle this or I fix a problem or add a feature, I can change it. So let's say I want to sell it at $15 now. I can see immediately what that is. All right, now if you don't use a tool like this one from AMZScout, you'll have to use the profit calculator from Amazon, which is in another website. So you could go copy and paste back and forth, which adds time. Now, if you don't have the AMZScout, AMZScout has a free profit calculator Chrome extension. So it's this tool right here. So for example, if we're looking at this can opener, I can open it up right here and then click on the calculator. It looks exactly the same as the one built into the Chrome extension, except this one's free. So you can just download it. I'll leave a link to it in the video description. You can just type in the price again. So let's just say my cost is $3 and we'll say the shipping is included in that cost. And I want to sell it at $15. Okay, again, it pulled up the size and weight for me. And you can see here that it already calculated the fees and what my profit is right here. Okay, so this is a free tool that you can use it in conjunction while you're doing product research on Amazon rather than going to another website. Okay, time equals money. So every second you can save will help you do product research just that little bit quicker. Now, when you're using the profit calculator, you need to figure out what the unit costs are. And typically you would go to Alibaba to look for it. So for example, if we jump onto Alibaba and we type in can opener, we can then look through the search results here and get an average price of what these are selling for, right? And again, this takes time. Opening another tab, going to Alibaba, looking for these products, right? Now, a way to speed up this process is actually to use a Chrome extension called Source Now. And this is the free Chrome extension. So install that and I'll show you how to use it here. If we go back to Amazon and we look at this can opener niche, you'll notice that when I hover over these images, there's a Source Now image that pops up here, okay? So for example, if I hover my mouse over this one here, there's a Source Now icon that pops up here. And if I click it, it's gonna do a search on Alibaba and pull up the listing so I can look really quick what the unit costs are gonna be. So I can use that information in the FBA calculator, okay? All right, so now moving on to the fourth tip on how to do product research quicker, has to do with product tracking. So once you've found a product niche that meets all of your product research criteria, you need to do product tracking or the 999 cart method to verify the sales velocity. Now, if you don't know what I mean for product tracking and verifying sales velocity or using the 999 cart method, I do have a video on that, which I'll leave a link to here and in the description below so you can learn about it. So I'll go over it real quick here so you know. What you want to be aware of is that when you're analyzing a niche with any Chrome extension tool, the estimated sales velocity that you see in this column here, it's an estimated figure. It's based off of an algorithm. And if you hover your mouse over the top here, you actually see that it says it's an estimated sales, okay? So this isn't accurate. We don't know if this Xylus product here, if they sold 2,821 units all on the first day, and then they didn't sell any for the last 29 days, or if they actually sold, 90 units per day, day over day, right? So you want to make sure you're looking at products that have consistent sales day after day, not ones that spike up and down. That's why when you find a niche that meets your criteria, you got to product track it using a product tracker or the 999 cart method to verify the sales velocity. Traditionally, what you're going to do, and what I recommend, is adding the top 15 or 20 listings to your cart. And that's going to take some time. So what you do is you want to open each one here. So what I'll do is for example, I'll open just the top 3 just to show you what I'm doing here. The top 3 organically ranked ones. All right, again, you want to do the top 15 or 20 and then add them to your cart. Now, once you've added all 15 or 20 listings to your cart, one by one, what you're going to do is you're going to order, instead of 1 unit, you're going to order 999 of them. Okay, and then click on update. That's why it's called the 999 cart method. And if there's no cart limit on each listing, it's going to tell you how many units that the seller actually does have left in stock. And that's the number you're going to record in your Excel spreadsheet. Again, I have a video that goes over how to do this. And if you haven't guessed, doing 15 or 20 of these every day takes a lot of time, okay? Because you got to do this for each one. Now, if you have the AMZScout Chrome extension, if you open it up, there's actually a column here that says inventory, and it's going to tell you how much inventory these listings have in stock at any time. So you can just jot these down instead of having to go through it one by one through the cart, which will save you a bunch of time. Now, if you don't have the AMZScout Chrome extension, you can use the StockStats Chrome extension plugin, which is absolutely free. So download this too. Now, what StockStats does, if we go back over here, you can open up the listing and click on the StockStats app. And you can see right here, it's pulling up in a window and it's telling me how many units this seller has in stock, 1,115, right? So I'll note that in an Excel spreadsheet, and then I'll go to the next listing and click on StockStats. And it's telling me they have 1,715, okay? A much faster process, okay? So as you can see, using the AMZScout Chrome extension to look up the inventory levels in the Chrome extension window, or using the StockStats free plugin is gonna help you do product tracking that much quicker. All right, so if you wanna learn how to do product tracking using a product tracker or the 999 cart method, I do have a video that goes in depth on how to do that, and I'll leave a link to it in the description below. The tools I was using in this video is by AMZScout, and they actually have a bundle right now that include all the tools that I just covered. And I'll put a link in the description below to a 40% off coupon. There's actually a trial version so you can test it out, but the 40% off coupon ends next Friday. Okay? If you have any questions, post in the comment section below. I answer every single one of them. And if you'd like to learn more about how to do product research, check out these videos here. All right? Thanks for watching. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And make sure you click that bell icon to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. There's also a link in the description to our community forums, which you should totally join. And as always, thanks for watching.